Why is no one talking about the metaverse? Everyone's talking about the rising gas prices, the conflict in Ukraine and Russia, the forthcoming market crash and crypto winter, but no one's talking about the true opportunities that I think come once in a lifetime. And I believe that it's the metaverse. And in this video, I'm going to go over 5 reasons why you and I should be looking into metaverse-based projects. If you're new to this crypto game, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to my next Bitcoin while helping you to your next Bitcoin. Not your financial advisor, just a lizard brain cowboy exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency with a whole bunch of other cowboys. We've got a lot of good content coming out soon. I try to put out a video every day of the week. But if you want to know more, hit the subscribe button down below. Blah, blah, blah. Give me a like button on this video if you're feeling generous, and leave a comment down below, because we're going to get into the metaverse right now. 5 reasons why I think you should be looking into the metaverse. And if you don't know what a metaverse is, let's start back to basics. Picture it like a virtual world where you could do anything you want. Like if you wanted to create your own building, you could create your own building. So for basic simplicity, think of like Minecraft. Like you go in there and you put together your world, and now you have it. And other people can join your world and see if you give them the code, or you could kick them out and you could moderate. It's basically a virtual chat room that you could build and create any kind of thing there, experience, whatever. Now, I think what's happened is over the course of time, Metaverse came from like this little video game, thing that's happening, something like Minecraft, to a more decentralized platform where big businesses, no one really owns that platform, that people come to this thing, and they visit different pieces of land that people own, and people put their own buildings or experiences on there, like things to do there that are on there. So I picture the metaverse and these different metaverses like Decentraland, Victoria VR, or any of the other ones coming out, something like a mall of experiences. What we have, as a people are moving into, is like a from YouTube, like consuming content type of people, to like a more fully immersed, like full experience type of experience when you're going onto the internet, or rather the metaverse. And I think that's what the metaverse is. It's creating a mall. You remember when you go to the mall, like we would go to the mall and you wear your tightest shirt with your best outfit with your tight sleeves to show off for the ladies or whatever, and you'd go over there and you could go into different these different stores, and you'd have a different experience in every store. Obviously, they're trying to get you to buy something, but they want you to feel something. Like GameStop wants you to feel like you're the gamer, power to the gamer, right? Or if you go to the food court, you want experience and variety of choice, and you want to see your friends there. There's just so many different little experiences that you could have, and they're trying to get your money. Well, I think that's what a metaverse is. It's going to be a mall of experiences where people go to the platform, go to Decentraland to look for an experience, to try to meet people or whatever. And we're going to go to different places in that metaverse for those different experiences. And we're going to be looking for the full immersive experiences. Well, here are the 5 reasons why you and I should start looking into investing into the metaverse. And the first one is this, that it is a massive opportunity and big money is already piling into it. Apple stock jumps after CEO reveals that it's investing in the metaverse. Facebook looks to spend $10 billion in this first year. Metaverse may be linked to an $8 billion market as a next tech platform. And that's what Bloomberg says. And Forbes says that it's a $1 trillion revenue opportunity, and here's how to invest. So essentially, we're looking at an opportunity here where it's like the future mall. Like you don't have to leave. You could go in there and try to look for whatever experiences you want to know. So what kind of experiences are those? So that's the first reason, right? Big money's getting into it. The second reason is that learning and education will be changed with virtual reality and the metaverse. I did this study. I found out about this study recently where people who learn through virtual reality learn at a 70% faster pace than learning digitally. Let me explain. You know how if you're learning Spanish and you got maybe like an iPad and it's got like 3 pictures, like an apple, a banana, and a watermelon, and you're trying to learn the word for apple, manzana, and so you're gonna be like, okay, manzana, what's that? And you're gonna select the apple. Okay, you go, beep. That they said that's like a decent way to learn. However, the faster, more immersive way to learn is, could you picture yourself putting on that VR headset, going into like a metaverse, and like with a shopping cart in like Spain or something, and you're walking around, I don't know if they, that's the same word over there, but whatever. You're walking down, and then you're like, okay, pick manzana, and you look in the supermarket, and you're like, is that a banana? No, is that? And you reach out with your hand and you grab that manzana, and you're like, wow. That they say that you learn 70% faster. People have learned 70% faster than digitally picking out, and that makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you go into these different worlds or whatever, if you fly to a different country, you learn faster because you're just fully immersed, and that's what I think that we can do as far as at least languages. Now, how far does this go? Like, if we use our brains, our little lizard brains, to try to imagine what else could we fully experience in full immersion education, I'm thinking like history. Like, could you imagine being part of like World War II? Like, you're on the beach in Normandy and you're storming, and like someone created this whole scenario, which they have already in the movies. If you could transport you, and you're like walking around and you're seeing it, like Call of Duty. Like, that's how I learned when I played Call of Duty. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in full immersion and you're watching this whole thing unravel. It doesn't have to be that. It could be tearing down the Berlin Wall towards the end of that thing. Or it could be way before, like in the Roman times when you're like in Caesar Augustus, and someone described that, or like made this whole scenario or situation. That would be amazing. I went to this conference for churches the other day. If you're not faith-based or whatever, no problem. But could you imagine like being there, like at the Ten Commandments, like like it's a full immersive type of opportunity that could be sought with any sphere of education, right? It could be history, it could be science. Like, could you imagine learning? Okay, we're getting to it. That's the second thing, is education. The third thing is training. I kind of couple this with education because it's still learning, but training is more important, because training, could you imagine a surgeon learning, a budding surgeon learning how to do surgery on a body that's not really there, like you're like scalpel, and and there's program, like you're taking out the heart, the precious heart. You're putting it on or delivering a baby, or nursing, or like conducting your first visit, or what I mean, like just running through that. A full immersion, you're like in your coat and you're looking around, and everything you see here, that would be amazing. So picture this, right? We're talking about a mall of experiences here. Picture like Cleveland Clinic, this premier hospital, buys land on the metaverse, sets up a hospital in there, and says, hey, this is hospital training for all future nurses and doctors. You come in here and you're going to learn how to navigate this hospital, and you're going to learn how to talk to people, and you're going to learn, like, okay, we're going to rush over here. That would be game changing. That is the future of training and education right there. Could you, like, Cleveland Clinic, they got $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Just throw that in there. Or if you're a plumber, and say one of the premier, plumbing businesses, like how to train a plumber. So they put you in this room or this bathroom, and you're like got this leaky toilet or whatever. You're doing plumbing stuff. I'm not a plumber. It's not my life. I don't know that. More power to those guys. But or a mechanic, you pop the hood and you're like, okay, now you're working on this engine, and okay, this thing is a crankshaft, and this engine or whatever, like I don't know what I'm talking about here, but that is the future of education, and people will learn 70% faster, I think even more faster, under full immersive opportunities. And what would be even amazing is that if they put that in, like, let's say a Victoria VR, that's a lot more realistic than, say, the Centraland. You go into Victoria VR, and there's like this Cleveland Clinic thing, and either you have to pay to enter into the building, or you just enter in for free, and there's advertisements being played. That's number 4. That's the fourth thing, right? So there's the opportunity that there's big money moving into it. There's education, there's training. Now there's advertising opportunities. Those advertising opportunities, as long as there's people flooding into those places, we can start to see more advertising opportunities through there. Look at this. This is from Campaign. Ocean to sell out of home advertising in the metaverse. Like, there are people looking, and you could see, like, if there are people playing, there's like just random advertisements. Like, this is like, I think of a cologne here, and you're out driving around or playing some video game. That makes a lot of sense to me. Cleveland Clinic is advertising itself. Like, if they make that, what could you imagine? Like, 18-year-old who thinks they want to be some kind of doctor. They go into Cleveland Clinic. It's a big advertisement. Cleveland Clinic. So you go in there, you're learning. Okay, I don't know if Cleveland Clinic has its own school, but guess where they're enrolling? Guess where they're enrolling? They're going to Cleveland Clinic's school. So that's the fourth thing, advertising. And the fifth thing, I think, is finally. Oh, and here's by the way, here's like the immersive landscapes, right? Like this immersive like learning environment. Like, could you imagine that? Like just people walking through. Like this is like just kind of learning, right? How to do electrical, how to do medical and stuff like that. I think that's fantastic. I saw this article recently. Manchester City to build Etihad Stadium in the metaverse, like a virtual soccer stadium. I believe Sony is doing the same thing. And this is the fifth one, is entertainment. You know as well as I know that I am big on like entertainment, especially far as being recession proof. I think that entertainment is recession proof. I think people will buy their video games and people will subscribe to Netflix before they stop with most other things, and which is kind of something else in itself, right? But imagine if you were, say, buying a concert to a Taylor Swift concert, and they have a seat in the prime seat right up front stage, and there's a camera with a 360 camera there, and they're selling that seat. They could sell that seat 5,000 times over. It doesn't matter. They could sell that seat 5,000 times to 5,000 different people. People put on that headset, that VR headset, and now you're just like looking around, and Taylor Swift is in concert, like pans to your camera and like waves to you or whatever, like an actual Taylor Swift concert, and you're like jumping around. People are like all around you, or you know, like that's kind of preliminary stuff. That could be so amazing. Can you imagine if like video games were now like full immersion? Like they're already coming out with this kind of stuff, but my little lizard brain can't comprehend some of the things that are being worked on right now, which takes us to the whole point, right? I believe the metaverse is a huge opportunity, especially in this weird sideways trading market. This is a lot of people think this is crypto winter. I think that there's more downside to come. Either way, when we come out of this, what are the projects that will seek to have the biggest explosive growth? I think it's metaverse for all these reasons. Anyway, guys, think about it. Don't overthink things. Just simplify it. Lizard brains, gorilla arms, diamond hands. I'll see you guys in the next video.